Fuck you guys. Welcome. So, today we have a very interesting topic. So, Asmongold was banned on Twitch. The reason I'm addressing this is because we listen to Asmon's stream all the time. We have been. So, if you remember back on Monday, we were watching the stream, we hit the debate section of his stream, where Hassan called him, they jumped in a call, and they started, going back and forth and doing their thing. So we were skipping through it, and I didn't really give a shit, honestly. Like, it's not something I really care about, listening to them go back and forth about it forever, on something that I would consider is, like, a non-fence-sitter topic. Just, like, no one wins in the end. Like, you have to either be on one side or the other, and there's always going to be someone on the other side, so no one's ever going to win. Case in point proven as to what the fuck happened. So I haven't actually seen any of the clips, but I watched his apology video, of course. And I could totally understand based upon how he was talking in his video about what he said. I feel how this could have happened, but man, now I wish I really listened to the whole thing because of how this turned out. So I would have actually gotten, like, perspective around it. And, I've heard people talk about it and stuff like that. And, of course, he addressed it and talked about it. Then there's, his Reddit post of saying why he was apologizing and everything like that. And it's like, all good. But, I mean, yeah, so, like, I need to go through and see the clips. Because he's basically, like, he went off the deep end. And this isn't something that's like an overreaction of wokeness based on this topic of like fucking Palestine and terrorism and fucking genocide and fucking trans, fucking LGBTQ, whatever the fuck, Because this whole thing originally stemmed from Asmon's statement of people who have the Palestinian and trans flag in their names, like on social media and stuff like that. Like, you can't support both of these groups because one of these groups does not support the other group. So by supporting one of the groups, you're actually going against the other group. And again, this comes back to the no fence sitter, no one wins, fucking whatever, just leave it alone, As a cross-dresser, part of LGBTQ, I don't give a fuck. That's not something I even fucking give a shit about. The whole point of it is the idea of generalizations. Generalizations are always taken way too seriously, but I see why Twitch had to ban them. You can't have any kind of promotion of that kind of language and that kind of attitude because, again, what Asmon always says, the whole people crying wolf over words such as Nazi, terrorist, fucking terrible people words, stuff like that. So at some point in time, this was bound to happen. But based upon everything that Asmon has always said, blanket terms are bad. When you paint with such a wide brush, nothing can really be taken out of it. Because you're lowering like the expectation and the reaction people have towards using that kind of word. Such as Nazi, terrorist, those kinds of things. Saying that brings down the actuality of people who are those things. So saying them lightly is never a good thing. And using blanket terms, encompassing everything, painting with such a wide brush, that it just, you have to work it down into the nuances. And based upon, from what I've seen, and what I think from being a huge fan of Asmon's content, and everything that he's always said regarding this, and the reason why he in the past has always been like, I don't have enough information about this to talk about this. And it's like slowly over time, people have pushed him into talking about this. The chat has pushed him into talking about it because he has gotten to the point of being tired of saying, I'm not going to talk about this. And it still falls in the normal of what he's talking about with, like, friggin' retards on Twitter with the trans and Palestine flag. Like, the idea of supporting one does not support the other. So why do you have this? It's just virtue signaling at the end of the day. So those generalizations are a huge issue. So the fact that he even said that, I am fucking absolutely surprised. But listening to what he said in his apology video, he has just literally been pushed to the point where it's like, I don't give a fuck anymore, I'm just gonna say the thing. And he's always been against say the thing. So at some point in time, something was bound to break. And it wasn't gonna be chat, because there's always gonna be those fucking retards hanging around, saying stupid shit, doing stupid shit. So the fact that he held on this long is actually very, 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 very impressive. And tops to him, because this is the one topic that I knew, like, if this shit was going to go down, this shit was going to go down with this topic. That's why I don't care to talk about it or listen to people talk about it. It's just not fucking important to me because there's no way to solve it. So when you get into this type of language, if you let one person, then you let them all. Very slippery slope, enabling actual racists and bigots versus someone misunderstanding, misusing what someone is saying in good faith based on previous actions and words of the individual. In this case, Asmongold, as I said before, the things that he's said before about blanket terms, about using these words lightly. And everything just kind of broke down. And I don't think that's a, oh my god, now he's showing his real face, he's a racist. No, it's like, you're going to have a slip-up when this kind of thing happens. Especially, it was a 3.5 hour debate. And from what I clicked through, like, it just sounded like Hassan was just talking most of the time. So it was probably him just berating Asmon based upon his opinion. Because, as Asmon also said in his video, it's what he's heard, it's not what he's experienced. Because he hasn't experienced that lifestyle, that area, that culture. So it's very understandable why he's kept to himself, and when he didn't keep to himself, this is something that he would have said. Now, in my opinion, it's just a fucking mistake. Mistakes fucking happen. Like, he's taking accountability, he's doing his best, and it's like, he's stopped ice skating uphill. He's stopped ice skating uphill as far as real life is concerned. Not the stream or anything like that. It's like he's finally not skating uphill. Let's hope. So from here, we have to look at how people are categorizing inappropriate and negative light blanketing way too much. So it's odd to me how everyone else can do it, but when he does it, it's like, oh my god, he finally slipped up this one time, now we fucking pinned him to the wall. Let's fucking crucify this guy. And it's just not genuine, in my opinion. It's all the previous stuff that everyone hates about this shit is just, like, rolled over onto this. And this is the straw that broke the camel's back. I think it's probably the best thing, as everyone has said. I mean, I highly enjoy the content, but it does have its negativity. And bringing, like, some passionate vibes to the stream, I would be interested in that, because I've only been watching him for about 2.5 years, like the Johnny Depp trial. Like after that, like around that time was when I started watching like the YouTube videos, and then I clicked into the stream, and then it was like, because before he was a WoW guy, and like I'm a Final Fantasy player, not a WoW player, so I never really cared. But when it came to like, I'm Canadian and I like politics, I like science, I like conversation, and I like analysis. And his analysis is fucking spot on, amazing, logic on the mark, and every time I'm like, yeah, man, I wish other people thought like that too. And this one time is like, I understand this is again a topic I wouldn't go near myself because that's a very yeah. It's just a clash of cultures. There's nothing else you can do about it. You at that point you're just an immovable object meets an unstoppable force. That is Western and Middle Eastern culture. It's never gonna happen. But in my opinion, Twitch had to do it. It's one of those things. And at the end of the day, if it was a boiling point that kind of had to happen. At least I feel it kind of had to happen. It was just one of those things where when you get to the end of the line and you turn around and you look at the shit that's behind you and you're like, holy fuck, how the hell did I get here? And I think that self-realization moment is definitely potent to pushing yourself forward and becoming a better person. So, I wish Asmon all the luck. I friggin' absolutely love him. I hope he's going to come back and be just as amazing as he always has been. And everyone else, mistakes happen, you know? And like he said in his video, he may have, let's say, meant it when he said it as a blanket term because of, like, just being in the fluster of it. But that's not his actual real-life opinion when you sit him down and talk to him logically, right? So, it's perfectly normal for people to go out of their way to try and do this whole cancellation shit. It's finally time for him to get knocked down kind of idea. I think that's fucking garbage. But that's just one man's opinion. Anyways, remember, if you can't say fuck you to your friends, who can you say fuck you to? Fuck you!